Also, we need to be afraid of those certain SQs because those SQs can be intense and gory. But we can fix her. Anyway, SQ left her hair bracelet on Yuri's table.
Wait, yo, pause.
And Yuri,
we can fix her in there
and
real
Yuri
fast.
gets it and chases after SQ. But
Hell no, bro. Slow that roll, bro. We are not fixing anything.
what's good, anime enthusiasts? Welcome to the SQ show, where we talk about SQ, only about SQ, and why SQ is the best character ever, and why she got her own episode before Yuriko or Setsu, and why they are number 2, 3, possibly 5 or 6 on the scale of best characters in the show. SQ is number 1, SQ is S+, no ifs, ands, or buts. Any questions, co-host? No? Okay, let's move on.
Okay, we're starting off strong from our SQ fanboy in the studio, Mr. Zay Soren. But I'm not gonna lie, man. There is a spot in this kingdom for two queens, and I think SQ can be one of them.
Yeah,
this
number
was a
one.
great episode. Oh, I'm not sure about that. I don't know about that.
Yeah, this is SQ's moment. The writers gave SQ all the time in the world, exploring, I'd say, nearly everything about her and giving us just a little bit more to look forward to in the next episodes. Explaining future SQ actions while also finally giving us explanations on past SQ's actions and why she says certain things, why she seems out of pocket, why she seems aloof. Everything makes sense, and it also connects to Remnan, that unfortunate poor soul. Who cares? Anyway, we all care about SQ.
Wow. My poor guy, Remnan.
So, this episode, we start off another loop, but Setsu doesn't wake up. The best character in the episode. All right, this is a rolling theme that we're gonna go through. Okay, best character shows up to wake us up. SQ, and before that, Yuri is like, "Oh, I'm not a woman anymore, thank God." And SQ says, "Hey, we're both on guard duty." So they didn't leave the ship on the Gnosia attack on Liyuan. So they're both confirmed humans. We get into the meeting room. We got 9 people. We got Yuriko, Remnan, Shigemichi, SQ, Setsu, Yuri, Chippy, Jonas, and Kakrushka. So this is now a typical loop where we do get to play the game of werewolf. We got 2 Gnosia. All the power roles are in play. Doctor, Engineer, and Guardian Angel. And of course SQ and Yuri on guard duty. Now, Before we actually get into it, Yuri starts internally thinking and worrying about what he just went through in the previous episode. He's worried about Jonas and Kakrushka. And now that he had that moment with Rakio, he has a new objective and new perspective on how he should do these things. He's now looking for new information, which hopefully shouldn't deter him or make him make any hasty actions just to get this new information. Foreshadowing. So, as he's contemplating, Yuriko is very aggressive this episode for some odd reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the writers like giving Yuriko some time in the spotlight, but she's like, "Yo, engineer, hurry up and claim your role." Yuriko, slow your roll, girl, slow your roll. And Shigemichi steps up, claims engineer. And then Chippy counters saying that he's engineer. So it's like, all right, cool. We got our engineer claims. Chippy then, they go through some back and forth. And then Chippy asks the people on guard duty, "Who do you think is suspicious?" And Yuri gets caught off guard a little bit, but he says, we can't really pinpoint anyone yet, based on not having any information. And, vibes-based voting is kind of off-putting, but it doesn't matter. We vibes-based vote anyway, and Kakrushka gets put in the cold sleep. And Yuri is like, "Dang, now I can't ask Jonas about Kakrushka. I can't talk to Kakrushka." So that avenue is out of the way, which I want to put into a counterpoint. Could he not just ask Jonas anyway?
And I think Yuri's a little scared of overplaying their hand like they did in the last loop. right? I think they're being a little bit more conscious of the fact that they have perfect information when everybody else is just like meeting him for the first time. It's classic time loop shenanigans. I feel like he definitely could have. I just don't know if Jonas would have given him anything. Oh, especially in regards to like the second Kukushka that's somewhere under storage, right?
Yeah, but I'd be like, hey, Jonas, who was that put in that cold sleep bed? Her name's Kakrusha, right? Who's she? Then we talk, then Jonas, can explain some things. Oh, cool. How long have you known each other? What is she like? Things like that. It kind of plays up to, if we play it up, if we know Jonas and he likes Kukrushka to a certain degree, and we've already known that when Jonas, when we first met Jonas, he's like, even before sleep's cold embrace, like takes me, let me look upon your beautiful face. Which now that we know that the doll is a resemblance of his wife, that scene makes a lot more sense. But good God, on first impression, that's a no go. That's
Man, I was trying to hold it down for my boy Jonas as a game boy. I knew what was happening the whole time. Bro, that week on Reddit was brutal, bro. They were like, why is Jonas kind of pedophile? And I'm over here like, no, dear God, please. And like that whole discussion, there were people that like played the game who were like, oh yeah, he's always kind of creepy like that. And it's just like, no, bro, there's context. Anyway, I feel vindicated for my boy Jonas this loop. But I think Yuri doesn't do well when their plans crumble underneath them. I noticed they like feel like a little bit more pressure to sort of force things instead of just like adapting. You know what I mean? Very logic brain of them. I see what it is.
you wanna say that the writers put the player mindset into Yuri? Because wouldn't you feel this way if one of the characters that you wanted to talk to this loop just got put in a cold sleep, and now you feel like you can't talk to them? So you don't think about the alternatives of like using other characters to find out about them.
No, definitely. I've been there. And okay, a quick lesson about me. I will like reset full on games if I lose a single battle and like something like Pokemon. Like if I guess the trader wrong in Lost Dimension, I'm full resetting the save file because I can't handle a loss even immediately, right? And the worst thing about the game was that I'm pretty sure you couldn't save scum like certain parts of your loop until you beat the game once and you got the true ending, right? So this is a real feeling. I really feel for Yuri right here.
So after that, he goes to his room and he thinks, he contemplates. They say, yeah, Yuriko has to be hiding something. Kukrushka's origins are still unknown to him. And just looping in general is pretty difficult. And that in each loop, he has to find this new information. Otherwise, it's going to get lost to him. He'll go to a new loop, have to figure out what he needs to focus on, and go from there. He pulls out his silver key, and it's halfway filled. We're doing good. I'm assuming that he's kind of looping off screen to figure things out, or maybe there's a lot of things that are going on in these loops that the silver key is just being filled up rapidly, which then poses Setsu, you're doing bad.
Bro, you gotta lay off. Okay. I think the big difference between Yuri and Setsu right now is that Setsu 100% observes that she shouldn't mess with like people in the loops, right? Like how she's always trying to play her role properly instead of just like being a kid in a library like Yuri is and just being like, hey guys, I'm sort of looping right now. Can you like talk to me about it? Right? I feel like Yuri can gain way more information that way, but like I don't think Setsu's sort of broken that barrier, just being like nonchalant about the looping thing.
Nah, I get you. I think probably Setsu's more afraid of, I guess, maybe some after effects on the loops. If you tell people that you are looping, and then Yuri just be like, hey, you want to know what I'm doing? Oh, you know what? I'll say this at the end, but continue on from here. SQ barges into our room. SQ is just so friendly and just being cute. And Yuri's just still in his head about getting information and whatnot. I'm like, Yuri, pay attention to the queen in front of you, to the best character in front of you. Pay attention. And he just goes on. And Setsu is just nonchalantly just being her. And Yuri thinks like, since we're both confirmed human, maybe this is my chance to get more information on SQ. And then when SQ, kind of says, hey, maybe we can use this chance to get to know each other a little bit more. And Yuri just pops up aggressively like, yes, I accept. And then SQ kind of immediately goes from 100 to 0. You're like, your eyes look scary. And then she gets bored and leaves. And Yuri just looks at sits there dumbfounded. The immediately next scene, he's just like crawled up in bed screaming at himself like he's an idiot. And I'm screaming at the scene, you're an idiot. Why did you do that?
Bro, everybody and their moms was like, SQY, Yuri, why? Right? And I think this is an excellent callback to when he was Gnosia that one time and SQ was like trying to get his opinion on things, right? Was SQ at that time just trying to like get a feel for whether he was de facto Gnosia, right? Or like what? Because that's how SQ is. She does that all the time, right? So like the reciprocation, is that like a sign for her? I don't know. Anyway, she do be too cute for school though. I'm not gonna lie. Way too cute.
That's why Yuri just should have been like, stay as you are. Just, let her be more over imposing and just, stammer a little bit. Let her tease you because that's what she is. And it also plays into the fact of like her backstory. Everything about her works. So Yuri runs down the hall trying to flag down SQ, and we go into the shower room by way of Chippy telling us that SQ might be in there. We get a fake out for Shigemichi. Thank you, writers. We didn't need that. And then we find SQ.
I don't know about that.
No.
It was no.
I need you to get off the Shigemichi hype train.
Bro, my dude is gonna carry all the next loops, bro. Stress. That's my boy right there.
No.
He came out with the Casanova voice and everything like, did you want to see my body?
No.
Like, okay, W Shigemichi.
He has Stella. Even though Stella's not in this loop. Just stay away. Go to Yuriko.
Man, he was probably just being like, oh, he's curious about the skin, right? Because, you don't see little grays very often, right?
Swear. But we do find SQ in the shower room. And Yuri apologizes for what he did in the room. And afterwards, we get into, I guess, another room in the shower area where you can just sit down and dry yourself off. And while SQ's drying her hair, both of them talk about who do they think is suspicious. And SQ, very insightful, says that she has a hunch that Shigemichi is Gnosia because Remnan isn't bold enough to lie. And I was like, I go, okay. And then Yuri remembers what happened in the hallway last loop with SQ and Remnan. And that, sort of confirms thing that SQ would know Remnan. And if one character says one thing about another, we can put 2 and 2 together. But I don't know what Yuri was trying to... No, I know what Yuri was trying to do, but he just, out of nowhere, just says, Papa, hoping that SQ might pick up on it or comment on it. And she's like, And then Yuri's like, nothing, no, nothing. And I'm like, bro, what? You don't say anything outlandish like that, hoping that something happens. But SQ kind of holds Yuri's face and pulls him in, and he's like, hey, it seems like you know a lot for somebody who's amnesic. But you know what? You don't have to tell me. It's okay. And she pulls away. I'm like, SQ, you're too chill. You're too cool. Why are you wasting your time with Yuri?
Bro, I got chills when she said that because I'm not used to SQ being this insightful. I'm not used to her being able to read people very easily, which tells me Yuri sucks at lying. True, objectively true, and also B, she's actually sort of interested, which is like interesting for her because normally she'd be like, this is all too much effort. LOL, whatever, right? So I liked seeing her sort of engage with Yuri on the Silver Key. I thought that was real cool.
If you really think about it, back in the first episode, she was always interested in Yuri. It's just up to, the writers to like fully point it out in each and every loop.
You mean like as an amnesiac? I guess, yeah, he was very much. Oh, he was really interesting, huh?
No, I mean, Etsuki's always been interested in Yuri in one way or another because, Yuri is a little cutie. The more Yuri acts as if he doesn't know anything, or he plays his amnesiac, lie a bit more, SQ's more interested because it's a new, I guess, person. Before we even like get in there, like Yuri's just like, I guess, naive at this joint and not say anything. Yuri's happy to help and just be around somebody who's, for lack of a better word, weak, because
I think I mentioned.
because subconsciously what SQ has going on might be influencing her decisions.
I see.
But we can talk more about that because going on afterwards, when we get back to Yuri's room, Yuri spills the beans. Hi, SQ, I have the silver key. I need to loot in order to get information on all of you guys. And SQ's like, okay, let's do a quiz.
SQ quiz time! SQ!
I was like, what? I was like, okay. So SQ's like, all right, first question. What does SQ stand for? I don't know. And then she goes to, hey, think about the alphabets. Count them, A through Z. And then now, what does SQ represent? I tried so hard and I could not figure out that the answer was 511.
I won't lie to you. I I work in Excel all day, so I kind of sort of knew.
Okay.
Right. Everybody had like trauma there because I think originally when you hear SQ, you think of succubus, right?
Oh, that's interesting. I did not think that.
When she's all over your neck, like in some of these loops, low key. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure that was intentional by the devs when they first named her.
oh, nah. I think it's more. I think the closest is playing on the fact that she is a representation of the gal, the gyaru girl in Japanese culture. Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, do you not know?
I think Gyaru Girls, the only other one I know is like Junko Enoshima from like Danganronpa, right? But I'm not so familiar with the concept, I think.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Do I? Okay. I don't remember like the full origins of it. I have to do like my more research. But over the years, I do like Gyaru girls, more or less their fashion and their aesthetics more, because the style, and it's like a style and a movement to where they are moving away from the norms of the culture of how a Japanese woman should look like and act. In the comments, if you know, correct me if I'm wrong. This is going off of like a decade plus more of like memory of trying to memorize it, and I'm sure the term has changed, or like the meaning of this changed over the years, as well as new Gyaru subcultures or styles that actually came into the scene, like the what's it called? Oh man, I can't remember. It's not doll. I mean, Gothic Lolita is like one of those, but that's like one of the earlier iterations. I can't remember. Dang. But anyway, it's just one of those cultural styles, and they are more outgoing, more open. They have influences from our Western culture, which is why some of them have a darker skin complexion, and
Oh, okay.
they have those styles that have the Western influence within them, because they're a lot more outgoing, showboaty, a little bit more revealing, lots of makeup, and a lot of different colored nails. They look colorful, and it's like an attack on your senses, but it's a more pleasing way, because you look at all of the simple two-tone colors of like a sailor uniform, And then you look at SQ and you're like, wow, that is a jump from -10 to 1,000. Small culture history lesson aside. 511. 511 is SQ is the 511th new body for Mama, aka Manon or Manon. And Manon.
Manon, yeah.
Okay, Manon. Okay, so Manon uses these new bodies to feel young again. So SQ has been living in an incubation pod ever since she's been born. And she's like an empty vessel. And when Manon wants to, feel young again, and she'll try to transfer her consciousness to one of these new bodies. Well, what happened was that SQ developed her own consciousness and the transfer failed. But in the process, SQ now has parts of Manon's memories. And with that, everything falls into place. The person that Remnan is so afraid of is Manon. Manon treated Remnan as a pet, as this toy, this thing to like mess with. That is the superimposing person that Remnan is afraid of. Back in the previous episode, when SQ was like down there looking at Remnan, being like, "What's up, Papa?" And Remnan's just curled up into a ball. That's Manon.
Bro, it gets really dark, really bad, really fast. And I remember, I think that episode I said, "Oh, this is very heavy-handed. I hope they would be less heavy-handed." But I lied to y'all. I think a few episodes before, during the Kakrushka incident, when Remnan is having his flashbacks, they show SQ's eyes straight up when talking about Manon, right? And I was just like, okay, I'm gonna hide that. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna hold it to my chest. It'll be okay, right? So for it to come in episode 11, I was like not prepared at all.
And she reveals everything, and Yuri is like, thank you. And even though that SQ's told her that even like a phony like her can help Yuri, but before SQ leaves, SQ gives us a tip. There are going to be some loops where SQ, that particular SQ, is going to have all of Manon's memories, which is going to force Remnan to, be deathly terrified. Also, we need to be afraid of those certain SQs, because those SQs can be intense and gory. But we can fix her. Anyway, SQ left her hair bracelet on Yuri's table.
Wait, pause.
And Yuri,
we can fix her in there.
And Yuri gets it and chases after SQ. But
hell no, bro. Slow that roll, bro. We are not fixing anything.
I ain't gonna lie. I thought I was like, dang, he ain't gonna say anything? All right.
There was no way, bro.
Don't worry, man. When Yurki has those episodes, I'm gonna be locked in. I want to catch you frame one.
Please do. I invite it. I'll be ready.
But yeah, before work, SQ does leave her hair bracelet on the table. And Yuri's like, oh snap. He gets it and chases after SQ. And he feels like he missed something. He messed up during the whole thing. Which to me, I don't think he messed up. But I believe Yuri's just getting like really, really desperate all of a sudden for, I guess, a lack of a better reason. What do you think?
That's just sort of, you know how Yuri is. Yuri is a bleeding heart. He's such an empathetic person. They want to see like everybody have like a good end, even if he doesn't get to see it at the end, right? So like you can tell he's like really sensitive towards SQ. Like even back to the beginning of the episode where he was just like, why would I yell out? We should take this as far as we can, right? To here where it's just like, oh, SQ doesn't think much of herself, right? And I can see the desperation there, because if he doesn't get to say anything and she gets taken out, that will be the last thing she ever hears from him. And that's heartbreaking.
Would a Gnosia attack somebody on guard duty?
I'm going to be real. Wait. Yeah, I'm going to be real. I'm just going to say it. The fact that Gnosia did not talk either of the guard duty is like extreme throw. Because, like, God. All right, here goes a rant. Not even a rant, right? But at some point, you need to have people who can take a shot for you if you're Gnosia, right? Indefinite humans, guard duty in specific, can never be accused of anything because they cannot be confirmed as Gnosia, right? So, like, the more suspicious bodies you have on the screen, the better for you, right? So, killing guard duty or any other confirmed human should be the first priority, right? But it doesn't happen. Another W for SQ.
Yeah, it's funny, right? Because Yuri got himself caught outside of his room during war, and I don't know why the Gnosia didn't. I assumed the Gnosia was going to get him, and then we were going to get another like half loop during this episode. But no, he's okay. Which then begs the question of why do you need to be in your room during war? I guess this is just like another rule break that it kind of is okay in the anime. Because, like,
yeah, you hear Levi over the comm being like, hey, Yuri, get back to your room for your safety, for your safety, for your safety. And then it just doesn't happen. And then the worst thing that happens is he falls over.
Yeah, he bumps his head onto his room because of, I don't know. It seemed like time stopped, and then he bumps his head into the wall. And, SQ comes out. It's like, bro, what's up? And Yuri's like, I need to talk to you more. It's like, we can talk after the meeting. And in the meeting, we know that Jonas got assassinated during warp. Cool.
Nah, not cool. Justice for my man Jonas.
Anyway, Setsu starts the meeting, and she starts by claiming the doctor role, but no other person steps up to claim the doctor. Ooh, it seems. Now, for all of us that knows, the Gnosia are forced to claim these roles when it happens. When another human does, because otherwise they can't sow discord. Because Setsu claims doctor, we now know for a fact that Kakrushka is either Gnosia or human, and Setsu says that Kakrushka is Gnosia. And now we know that Jonas Jonas could have been the other, had to be the other doctor, but he also wasn't Gnosia. But now here's the problem. Shigemichi and Remnen are the possible remaining Gnosia, but Setsu could also be a Gnosia claiming doctor. So now we still have the potential of two Gnosia, in this meeting. And the characters go back and forth on trying to figure out whether or not we can shoot Setsu or shoot Shigemichi or Remnan. And this is the third time we pull up the voting results. And I don't know how I feel about this voting results thing anymore, to be honest. Because Yuri, chiming in to save everyone, pulls up the voting results. Well, before that, he says, if Setsu is the real doctor, then we already won. Pull up the voting results. We see that Shigemichi and Kakrushka voted for Setsu, and Remnan voted for Kakrushka. The Gnosia typically pile on someone who is, Shigemichi and Kakrushka voted for Setsu, but Remnan voted for Kakrushka. Typically, the Gnosia pile up on a human rather than their own, and because they didn't vote, because nobody put any votes on, I believe, Shigemichi or Setsu for that matter, logic concludes that the other Gnosia has to be Shigemichi because they didn't vote for Kakrushka. And we put Shigemichi to sleep. Green light. We win, baby! The loop is over!
Hey, bro. We gotta hold up. Because, okay, I love Yuri. Yuri is the perfect logic player. I love the anime. These W's are so bad.
Yeah, I don't like the voting results thing because to me it doesn't matter because there's still the ambiguity.
My thing is sort of like, okay, it's voting log should be fine, right? What I'm not okay with is that the anime has been shown to break the rules regarding perfect play and like not being optimal with things like Comet outing Charming as Gnosia, right? With Rakio claiming Guardian Angel, even though that's never been possible before, right? And Chippy asking for free pass as a Gnosia because Charming got a pass as Gnosia for groveling, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Yuri's deductions always come from the point of view of somebody making perfectly logical decisions, right? And that assumption that Shigemichi only didn't vote for Kakrushka because they were not suspicious. My bad, sorry. Because they have to be Gnosia would easily be turned on anybody who accidentally votes for like somebody not suspicious anyway, and can be like turned even on like a normal player, and that being used as evidence to prove that Yuri is like smart sort of rubs me the wrong way, right? Don't get me wrong, it's still a perfect explanation, and like it's still cool to see Yuri like pop off like that, like always. But I'm gonna need him to get punished at least one of these times, at least one time.
So here's the thing. With Yuri's perfect logic, we are assuming that the Gnosia wouldn't pile on each other, wouldn't throw each other under the bus. And this is true for like every single loop, which to this question, how much do the characters actually know about Gnosia and what they are able to do and what they can't do, right?
Yeah. Right.
Because what if
Like we've seen.
what if one
Oh,
loop
go.
where like in an actual werewolf game, like a social Dutch game, what if the Gnosia do just throw one of them underneath a bus? Nothing during like the Yuri Gnosia loop really says anything that we just couldn't throw somebody underneath the bus to make us look good. And I guess this is still like staying into the game logic that, and like the I guess the factor that if somebody claims the role, then one of the Gnosia has to forced to like reveal that they are possibly Gnosia because the engineer is a powerful role. But I think it'd be interesting if the anime broke away from it, and that if somebody does claim engineer, that the other Gnosia don't claim and let the humans sort of hang themselves just for relying on that one engineer. You know what I mean?
Like you go into loop, let's say Jonas claims engineer. Nobody claims it, but then they try to like kill Jonas, or do they just let him guess until like they run out of time?
You gotta get Jonas, because if a human just if you're also like, yo, engineer, claim your role, and the human just like, okay, I'm engineer, and the Gnosia are smart enough to be like, free kill.
Yeah, free kill.
But that is more on like the real social side. But on the game side, you have to force some kind of interaction, because it'd be too easy at that point, right? So you have to force the guessing immediately. And of course, I think through artificial intelligence, like the computer would have to, you have to put in these conditions in order for the game to continue. Because excuse me, if nobody claims a role at all, it's like a shot in the dark, and you got nothing to go on, which I think is more interesting than, yeah, let's go ahead and get one role out of the way so we can force something. No, let's really up the difficulty. Nobody says anything about roles, and we just start going at each other's heads.
That's crazy, dog. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It can happen.
Bro, ain't nobody doing that. Everybody who's not looping is just gonna be like, Yuri, that's fucking stupid, dog. We're never doing that.
Hey, Gnosia developers, Gnosia 2, I just pitched in your new AI idea. Hit me up.
Yo, honestly, put that in the sequel though. I'd like that. That'd be cool. But yeah, this deduction scene from Yuri was on the same level as the Stella versus Yuriko Gnosia one. Back during that loop. And I wasn't so much a fan of that one either. I think this one's a little bit better, just because it aligns more with the characters, right? Shigemichi definitely would never vote against their Kenosha partner, ever. Same with like Chippy. Chippy would do that. I think Otome doesn't vote against you ever, right? I think Comet doesn't vote against the Kenosha ally ever, right? So this one is at least on brand. Like the other one wasn't so much.
Afterwards, we chase after SQ because SQ like skips away at the end, and we get into the main room, the virtual room, and it's changed to a hologram of all the SQs in their incubation queues, and we got the hair bracelet. And Yuri's looking around. He goes up to one as he like presents the hair bracelet. It's the actual SQ. This final scene, it can break any person's heart if you're really into SQ. Is that SQ continuously downplays herself as just a copy of something, a phony, a liar, can't really consider themselves human in that regard because they're just created. They only been born for technically a year, but Yuri hits all of the correct visual novel options, letting SQ know that you are more than what you are. You're not a phony. Reaching out to a heart is that we get to meet the real you, the real SQ. Sure, you might have memories of somebody else, but you have your own conscience. You are human. You have like your own style. You have your own mind, your own conscience. This is you. And SQ tries to play it off, but she does break down, starts tearing up, starts crying. Nobody wants to see SQ cry. And she knows that Yuri is going to loop again, but she doesn't want Yuri to loop. She wants Yuri to stay. I want to stay because this is the perfect loop. We only really lost one human. Who cares about Jonas? But we got SQ, the best. You can have your Yuriko. We got Setsu. We can throw Chippy out into the airlock along with Shigemichi, and we can have a nice day.
Yeah, this whole sequence, it's perfect. For everybody who's anime only, this is technically an adapted version of Tears of SQ, which is the event name, right? And normally in the game, it's supposed to be Yuri as Gnosia, SQ human, and SQ calls you out for being Gnosia, right? She just asks you, right? And if you're honest with her, she'll make a weird statement about like, oh, that kind of sucks. I sort of wish I could get to know you better. Like if we were the only two people on the ship, and you can actually like pull that off completely. And then you'll get a very similar scene to this, right? Where she like explains to you everything about Manon and like her and warning you not to trust any other version of you or of SQ and to just remember her, right? And that was the gauntlet when I played it. But I think making it guard duty here really endears you to SQ a lot faster, right? Yeah, I didn't have a single try after this. I had to go get some tissues, bro.
I'm not gonna lie to you. If I was Gnosia and I made SQ the final person, I'm not keeping her around.
I mean, the way it goes, I think you might have that option if you're the main character.
He can break the rules and whatnot. Yeah, it was a touching episode, knowing a lot of things about SQ, which then we may, I guess, bridge into another episode where we stick with Remnan and we try to figure out what happened with you, Remnan, and I guess learn more about Manon and some other things, or we might jump off to another character and learn more about them. But we will see. So back to Setsu, right? I feel like I feel like a lot of our episodes at the end are gonna come down to Setsu. What are you doing? You mentioned about like Setsu this loop, or like we were gonna say something about Setsu.
Oh, you mean about how they approach looping? Where Yuri's like way more open about the fact he's looping, and Setsu sort of hides it from everybody.
Yeah, that. So here's what I want for, I guess, maybe one or two episodes in this season, or if they don't do it, maybe a couple of OVAs or maybe a movie of us following Setsu's journey as they loop. Now, of course, in the game, it's not, there, because I'm assuming you're just playing Yuri from beginning to end and there's no branching paths. But I don't know if you guys, the gamers, think about it as like, how did SQ's journey start? And where did SQ like learn things? Yeah, they're from the military. Yeah, they're non-binary. What were their beginnings? What did they interact with? What were they introduced to? Hey, how was Yuri in Setsu loop? Were they always amnesiac every single time Setsu loop? Or was Setsu amnesiac with every single loop? Who knows? How does SQ go about their loops? And if they do it in the anime, we can get Setsu's like mental state of what they're going through, of what they want to do. Because I'm assuming if Yuri is going to be the more open, friendly, gung-ho, I don't care what's going on, the friendly anime shonen, let's all be friends, let's all be open, we can have Setsu be the more cold, reserved, judgmental, play by the book rules. This is who I am, this is who you are, let's stick to it so that we can try to figure things out. And this would be like more of like the darker roots, where in darker investigative roots, where Setsu is more cold to others and more unforgiving in their actions. And it feels evil that Setsu is like playing off the emotions of others, because Setsu doesn't really show that much compassion to any other character other than Yuri, right?
I super disagree. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well,
at least in terms of Setsu being like compassionate and things like that. I will say 100% confirmed on screen, episode 3, Setsu does have a thing for Yuri. Like a very soft spot. I think it was the first episode where she like grabbed Yuri's hand and said, "We're lovers," right? That's not on accident. That's practice, you know what I mean? But Setsu does sort of have a reservedness about them, where it's hard for them to naturally lean into like being a charismatic person, sort of like Yuri did. I feel like a lot of her struggles with looping comes from that, where it's like, how does the military officer, the one who has everything together, the one who leads the meetings, the one who's by the books, sort of like shift to fill out a key by any means necessary, or without going by any means necessary? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I want to see that more. I want to see what Setsu's thinking. I mean, yeah, Setsu still tells Yuri like, hey, each of these characters, has their own story, and we should respect all of them. But I don't know if Setsu's following her own advice.
What do you mean?
It's just a hunch, you know. Like I am fine with totally being like 100% wrong. That's fine with it. But me and my crackhead pot theories and headcanon, I think Setsu is just at the end of the things of what they can or possibly do, and they just need to force things. Maybe. I don't know. Because in case in point, why was Setsu outside of the room where female Yuri was trying to get information from Jonas? Why did she bug the room and listen in on the conversation?
True.
See, episode 10 has really put me off of Setsu as this character. And I don't know if it's true, or I don't know if I'm cooking with the writers at this point. I don't know if I clocked in on something. That's just me.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna need you to like, you know how Gnosia has like the lying sound and like the lying effect on the screen. I'm gonna just need you to play that like 3 times at the end of the. For me, dog. For me.
Oh man, I guess you. But yeah, I was happy with this. You got anything else you want to say about it?
Pretty great episode after the last one. I'd give it a. Nah, let's be so for real. 10 out of 10, my guy.
Hey.
WSQ, W Yuri, W Lou.
You said it, not me.
Oh wait, actually, I do have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever Yuri pulls out the silver key, can you actually physically see how much is being filled? Because I'm looking back on every episode, I can't tell no matter what.
You can. You have to look at the actual circle itself. If you look from the bottom all the way up to the halfway point, you can see the water that's like filling up. It's at this point, it's halfway at those circles. If you look back to where Setsu pulled out her key, I believe it's like episode 3, where we learn more about the silver key. When Yuri pulls out his key, no, episode 4, I'm sorry. When Setsu pulls out his key, it's so much less. Especially when he pulls it out with, what's her name again? Gina? No, not Gina. Stella. When they figure out Stella likes flowers, when Yuri already knew. When he pulled out his key and it didn't fill up, his key was much slower than that.
I see.
I think it's hard to see because the liquid is almost the same color as like all the particle effects of the key itself, but it's there.
Alright, word.
Don't worry, I pay way too much attention to that key. I think that's like that is a mark of how much more we got left in our Setsu or Yuri's case.
Oh
Oh
my god. The silver key actually being the indication of the timer of how many things are going to happen left in the season. Oh no.
yeah. Also, I thought about this over the week when last episode, during the slime attack, Setsu said to the others, "Hey, in one loop, I experienced Kukrushka, you know, going buck wild, right?"
True.
Setsu didn't say, "Hey Yuri, we experience. I experience." So now I need to ask you this question. In the game, are you allowed to change your genders during the playthrough?
This is it. For all intents and purposes, no.
Okay, so you're locked in your gender from a new game, right?
Yes.
What if there's two different Yuris looping? What if there's a male Yuri that's looping that has a silver key, and there's a female Yuri looping that has a silver key?
And they all share progress?
No.
Oh.
But maybe they do, I don't know effect. Because Setsu isn't more... It's the fact that Setsu said, I experience Kukrushka, instead of looking at female Yuri and say, we experience this Kukrushka.
I gotta go back and actually check the wording on that because I read that a little bit differently.
I mean, we can do this now. Hold on.
True. Damn, I forgot. She says that and then literally dies alone in slime. Oh no.
Sucks to be.
Wow, the hate needs to be studied.
Setsu, Yuri, what's that? I knew it. I previously experienced a world line where Kukrushka killed everyone. I'm sorry. I'm throwing it.
No, it's okay. Oh no.
She says, I previously experienced a world lie, so I've been monitoring Jonas's actions on every loop. She doesn't lean in the Yuri and say, hey, remember this?
Think. Okay, there's two ways to think of this. The first is Setsu's still in cold sleep when she gets fucking impaled by Kukrushka, right? So she might have been like straight up dead before she could see what was happening, right? And the second could be it happened more than once. It's fucked.
Are we cooking, or are the writers misleading us? Or do we find a plot hole?
No, I'm just lying. Play this out.
Man,
I gotta lie for the plot, bro.
oh man, nah. I like this theory more. I like it more that there's a male and a female Yuri separately looping. Even though Yuri said that sometimes when I loop, I change genders. That could possibly be true. Or maybe there's two Setsus. I don't know. At 1:30. Honestly, part of me does not want to be any more than two silver keys in this. And the other part of me wants this to be true just so that I'm the man that has the whiteboard with all the red lines drawn everywhere and I'm crazy.
No, I get it. And like the amazing thing about time loop as a genre is that all these theories are valid. Literally all of them, because there are infinite possibilities in this Schrodinger's box we have. You know? It's great.
Pull that detour out of the way. Comment down below. Let us know what you guys think about. If y'all got any theories of your own, what do y'all think about SQ best character and Yuri now just flinging the silver key at everyone, being like, share me information, please.
Definitely like tell us like who your favorite character is. Who do you think is gonna get the spotlight next?
XQ.
Oh, it can't just be SQ for everybody, right?
I don't know.
If I see like more than 50 SQs, I'll be shocked and I will eat an old mushroom.
Nah. We ain't got those people unless they are watching. They're about to come out of the woodwork.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But with that, I hope y'all have a good day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. And I hope your day is just a little bit better than it already is. With that, we'll catch y'all in the next episode. Peace.
Deuces.